Welcome back everybody to my new deck profile. I already made this deck profile, but I deleted the recording because I'm an idiot. But this time I'm playing a Metal Raiders deck with the kind of a twist. So last time I uploaded a video about 2 weeks ago right now about my full LOB deck. That was around only the cards of the LOB set. So this time I added some Metal Raiders cards to this deck to make this deck better and more powerful. And with that I just go up and up the collections and the card boxes, the sets, that's how you say it, that are released. So this time it's combined with Metal Raiders and with LOB. So the locals was like 2 days ago. I went with this deck, I went 2-2, but don't be that happy because the people I was playing with were new people. One was playing just the structure deck of the Obelisk, and other one was playing a rank 4 POW Xyz deck. So it was pretty funny, but I could not, it's not really a win-win. But let me just show you the deck profile. So in this deck we played a new beaters, you already see him, 3 Jirai Gumo. This card is just a 2200 beat stick. The life points, yeah, most of the times people just will OTK you, so even if you do lose life points, it is not that, it's not the worst. This deck is still a going second deck, so most of the time you just want to beat over some cards your opponent has. Next up is Dark Elf. Dark Elf is also a 2k beat stick, but this card says that you can only declare an attack with this card if you pay 1000 life points first. So you pay 1000 and then declare the attack. So this card is very hard to play with, kind of ish, because you need 1000 life points for this card to be able to attack, or else it's just a 2000 defender attack beat stick card that just defended you. Next up for the monsters is the 7th colored fish. No more is Urabi and Skull Red Bird. 7th colored fish is my new best friend. Yeah, it's just an 1800 beat stick. It's way better than the other cards that I previously mentioned. That's it, there's nothing more, just a nice 1800 beat. Next up is the Blue Winged Crown. This card is just also a 1600 beat stick. It's just 50 attack higher than our Winged Beast friend Skull Red Bird. There's nothing much to say, it's just a higher card that has higher stat. Next up I also play one Hein. I have 2 flex spots in this build. I'm going to do more things to make around something. But Hein was originally not in the deck, but I just needed a card, so I put it in. It did perform okay because it's Hein. My opponent attacked with Mirror Jade, and I was like, flip, return back, and he was like, yeah, okay, sure. So it's still an okay card, yes. Next up, that's where the monsters. We only play, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 monsters, with one being Hein. So, in this deck you have not much monsters, but you do have a lot of spells and trap cards, where in the LOB deck you had too many monsters and too less spell and trap cards. So the only brick you will have is not enough monsters in your hand. Then we play 3 Raigeki for the spell cards, because Raigeki is still amazing, destroy your opponent's board. This card is still a strong card in this kind of a deck. Then we play, of course, 3 Dark Hole. Why wouldn't you play 3 Dark Hole, right? Just destroy your opponent's whole board and then that's it. Nothing much to say about it. We of course play 3 Fissure. I played 2 fissures when deck building, but I missed. I had 2 spots left, so I put in 1 extra fissure. I think this fissure is. I think you can put it at 2, but a 3 off is very crazy. But these were LOB spells, but there are also some Metal Raider spells that is a very interesting card to put in the deck, and that is 2 Tribute of the Doomed. Tribute of the Doomed says discard a card, target a card on the field, and destroy that target. Now, it's not that crazy. I will definitely cut this down to 1. But to be fair, it's not a bad card, because Fissure only destroys the lowest attack monster on the face up on your opponent's field, and this can target a monster, so it can be face down, face up, doesn't matter. So having one of this is amazing, but two is very hard to play with because the discard it does hurt you. Then STIM-PACK, another Metal Raiders card. This card says equip it to a monster, and that monster gains 700 attack. And then every of your standby phases, that monster loses 200 attack. So this is way better than Follow Wind and Raise Body Heat because it gives 700. But we have to keep in mind that you lose 200, but most of the times your monster will be dead next turn in this, of course, this Yu-Gi-Oh meta. This isn't a good deck overall. But I like it, I really like it. Then we only play 2 Swords of Revealing Lights, yes. I will definitely cut this down to 1 because people just destroy it, and seeing 2 of them in your hand is just a dead card. It is, you don't want to see it ever, never. I think just 1 is enough. Next up, we have 2 spells left. Of course, the Monster Reborn, still a strong card. I was like, Monster Reborn, and then they're always like, they don't like it. It's an amazing card to see. Definitely with all the destruction cards you have. Thank you very much. And for the last spell card, it's a Metal Raider spell card. It's Change of Heart. Just take control of your opponent's monster. Yes, please. There's nothing much to say here. This card is very crazy. I activated Change of Heart, target DPE. He activated DPE. So to destroy 2 of his own monsters, which one would be DPE, of course. I think I maybe made a misplay there, but maybe not. But still a strong card. Then we go to the trap cards. No! Solemn Judgment. This card is an amazing trap card. We have a lot more trap cards than our LLB because there are more trap cards we can actually use. Solemn Judgment, just say no to anything. To Branded Fusion, I said no. I said no to a summon of a card. I said no to a spell card. I don't remember which one it was, but it made them kill me. So Solemn Judgment, even though you pay half your life points, it's still an amazing card. We play, here it is, baby. 3 Mirror Force, yes sir. This card, I never sadly only could use it once in one of the easier duels, but I never seen it anywhere else. But it's crazy. This card it's still a decently strong card. Of course, there are way better cards like Drowning Mirror Force because it doesn't destroy. So if you play against Branded, they can't banish Branded opening to that Mirror Force. But it is what it is. Still a strong card. And then for the last 3 trap cards, it's Magic Drain. Or Magic Jammer, sorry. Flip, negate the activation of a spell card, so no Branded Fusion for you anymore. Never saw it sadly. Hopefully I can pull it off because this card is actually pretty strong. This card is also a discard, so you have to keep that in mind, of course, because that means you need some extra resources. And what you want to discard is also what you want to look at. If you have 2 monsters in hand, you probably can discard a monster. But if you maybe if you have another Fissure or a Tribute to the Doomed, then you can discard that card, or a Hain that you can't use. Of course, we have no side deck. There's nothing here except tokens. We do this because Kashtira can then zone lock us, and then we can't do anything about it. So don't play any. Also not for fun. For the side deck, we upgraded our Final Flames to 3 Tremendous Fire. This card says deal 1000 damage to your opponent and then deal 500 damage to him. So of course you will deal damage to yourself, but if you play against something like a Dynamorphia deck, or you can actually or play against a Punk deck where they have their life points at 5000, this card can still be crazy and can make it so you can actually beat your opponent. And then next up are 3 block attacks. I actually never saw this card or never actually sided it in, because all the monsters that my opponent had were not cards that you want to have that you want to have in defense, and you rather get rid of like with a Fissure, Dark Hole, or a Raigeki. So I probably think this card will be at 2 maybe, because I want some extra cards in the side deck, which I will tell you later about. But I definitely think this will be at 1 next time. And one-stop defense. This card, if I had more versions of this card, I would definitely play it. This card is actually good. Most of the times they put something in defense, like a Rafflesia, and then you can just say no to Rafflesia and attack over them. This is also a card that I also want to see more of, so maybe I will definitely cut one poke attack for a stop defense. And I always say this in. This card is a definite insider, but I never ever want to play this in the main deck, because of the fact that if I draw it and I can't use it, yeah, then it just stays in your hand. I rather have a Fissure or a Tribute of the Doomed instead of that card. I played in the side deck 100 Swords of Revealing Lights. This card will be going away. It was just here to look for it, but just look for it. Maybe if you fighting an opponent that can't deal with the card, you can actually use it way better. I'm looking for something because there's something wrong with this card, because if you can see it, yeah, the gold thing here, in your focus, is way on the side of the card. That's pretty fun. But only one of those cards, yes, only one of Swords of Revealing Lights. I will cut it out. We still on the side deck play 3 Treble. If we can side it in and it will be strong, it would be amazing to see this card. The only real card that you can actually use it on is their normal summon of monsters, or just maybe Fluon the Reese, summon MPM Treble, I guess. There's nothing much you can do with this card. It's probably going to side out if I have some better cards for it, but I still really like the card. If my opponent, if I ever win and my opponent says you go first, I can side it for just something extra. Then our next 3 trap cards are 7 Tools of the Bandit. Still, trap cards are going crazy. You pay 1000 life points, negate the activation of that specific trap card. That's amazing. Never sided it in, never saw a trap deck, but I think this card is still a definite PO card that you really want to have in your side deck at this point in time. And then for the last card, it's only a one-off. This is a crazy card, and I'm so happy that there is actually back row kind of protection in Metal Raiders. It's a very cool card, and I'm very happy to use it. If you look at my face, I am very happy, so it's amazing that I found a card like this. Please leave a comment down if you think you can know the card that I'm referring to. It's a useless card, I will say it outright, but let me show you the card. It is Fake Trap. Let me tell you, this card is actually crazy, kind of ish. So let me read you the card for a second. When your opponent uses a spell trap or effect monster card, it says that, to destroy your trap cards, this card can be destroyed as a substitute for your trap cards. So you can actually, if a feather does to you, you can activate this card, then only this card gets destroyed. But I think your opponent also has to see the other cards if you're not live or something like that. So I really like this card. I think this card is very fun to have in the extra deck, or yes, in the side deck. It's just back row destruction. If you know you're going second and your opponent knows that you play a decent amount of trap cards, and they are siding things like Harpy Shadowduster in, you can side this card. Don't side any more of this card, because this card is pretty useless. Maybe when you have 3 fake traps, you can cycle them, I guess. But that is. So this is the whole deck. There is nothing much special about this deck. It's just a one-up. I had a lot of fun playing this deck because I am kind of different with making these decks. But the thing that I wanna do is I definitely wanna bring back in the side deck the Reaper of the Prophets. Just because it's a decent tribute summon monster and it has an extra effect. I also want to have in the main deck maybe one tribute summon monster that I can use if I want to get rid of some floodgate cards that my opponent has. Because some decks like Dark World, Kastira and Heroes summon a card on your field. So if you can make use of that card, you can get rid of their floodgate card that they set on your field to make it that you can still play with your cards in your hand, like Raigeki, Darko and such. So that is a play I want to make. I don't know what card I want to put in yet. But thank you all for watching and have a nice day.